Welcome back, everyone. I'm Catherine with Catherine's Plates. Today I am going to show you how to make a stuffed pepper one skillet meal. This is a deconstructed version of a stuffed pepper. It's got all the great components. This is a low carb meal without losing any of the flavor. Y'all ready to get going on this one? There's 5 servings to it. It's about 16 carbs per serving. It's good for us, so we're happy. Thomas and I have decided to go on kind of a low carb version of a diet. And, we're getting older, so, we got to get ourselves together. And y'all can join us on that mission too. Y'all ready? Come on over here and let's put this one together. Now we're going to start in a very large, deep skillet. You can even use like a Dutch oven if you want to do that. I've got 1 pound of lean ground beef in here. You can use any type. We're just going to drain out any excess grease that's in there or liquid that might come out of there. We're going to start breaking it up because we want to get this nice and brown, no longer pink. And we want some small pieces to it. All right, let's move over here and talk about the veggies we're going to put in. I have 2 medium-sized bell peppers. I've already cleaned them off. We've got 1 yellow onion. When I dice this up, we're going to measure out 1 cup. And then we have 2 cloves of garlic. In my recipe blog, catherinesplates.com, where you'll find this recipe. All right, so we're going to take our bell peppers and we're going to just slice off all the sides. Now, what's great about this recipe is you can use red bell pepper, you can use yellow, orange, or just do the green here. If you want to jazz it up with the colors, that's totally fine. You can do one side of every color of the pepper, as long as you have 2 medium peppers. Now, if you have a chopper, you can just run this through the chopper, which I'm going to do. Or you could just dice it up and get all of it off of there. I'm just going to cut it to size. Give it a good whack. Now these peppers are still good. I got these from the Trader Joe's haul that I did. Got to use them up. Now this dish is way easier than making the stuffed peppers because you got to boil the peppers, you got to make the mixture, you got to do all of that stuff and then stuff the peppers. But this meal is going to happen all in 1 skillet. All right, we're going to hang on to those for just a minute. Let's get this chopped up. All right, just keep an eye on your ground beef. Want that nice and brown. All right, I got a medium-sized yellow onion. We're just going to chop that up. You're going to want a cup of yellow onion for this recipe. I'm excited for this one. Ooh, I love stuffed peppers, but this is going to be a good one. I love deconstructing recipes. Using a 1 skillet for this. We're not turning on the oven today. None of that.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, Thomas is here. He's all for it.
Yep.
For a low carb meal. So we're going to have fun making some. And what's interesting is this is a regular meal. I mean, we're not like, having to do anything different to this. It's going to be delicious. All right, come on down. All right, I'm just going to slice the onion. And then we'll just turn it around and then dice it.
Like a deck of cards.
Ooh, yeah, I'm shuffling them right now. There we go. The onion will add nice flavor. Give it a little sweetness to it also. There we go. And then while we're waiting on the ground beef, we'll go ahead and mash up our garlic. I just have 2 medium cloves here. Whew, Thomas will get mad at me if I scrape that knife across that board.
Yeah.
Use the back edge of it right there to move stuff on your cutting board. All right, so we're gonna take the flat edge of our knife, just place it on the garlic, mash it down. And then we'll run our knife through it. Got Thomas over there working.
I don't mind. As long as I get to eat.
Yeah. First thing we want to do is get the onions in here. Start softening those down. We're going to drain that grease first. Whatever you have in there. That grease can be lurking in your meat and you not see it. So make sure you push your paper towels into the meat to get it all out. Spin it around. All right, we're going to add our peppers and onions. And then we'll get the onion in. Look at those nice veggies going in, huh? We'll get the garlic going in here in just a few minutes. We're going to cook this down until the onions are nice and softened and those peppers are soft also. Just take about 3 to 4 minutes. Now this dish will simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. So it's going to have time to finish softening down those peppers. So this is good right here. Let's go ahead and add our minced garlic. That was 2 cloves. Now while I add that in, I'm going to go ahead and add in our seasonings right here. I have 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And you can adjust as you want. But you know what? I found out seasonings have carbs in them. Not much, but they're still there. So we're going to add it all in. All right, we're going to mix this all in. We're going to cook this for 1 minute. Why? We like to cook that garlic down, right? Open up those flavors. Smells good already. Tell you, once you start putting seasonings in, it wakens up your dish. All right, let's add some more fun stuff. We got white long grain rice. Yeah, it fits into the carb count. 1 cup. This is uncooked. So I'm going to go in with 1/2 cup. That way I can get in there. Just sprinkle it on in. We're going to add in 1 jar of pasta sauce. This is a, let's see, what is this? 24-ounce size of your favorite pasta sauce.
Come on, muscles. You can do it.
There we go. We're going to add that in. I'm going to set this off to the side, and we're going to add in 2 cups of beef broth. Surprise, surprise. This is unsalted. Or you can use the low sodium, or you can use the regular. We can adjust the flavors before the end there. If we need to find out we want to add a little bit more salt, we can. 2 cups. Let's measure this out. We're going to add that in. All right, we're going to stir this all together. That pasta sauce smells good.
It sure does.
This is the roasted garlic marinara sauce from Trader Joe's. If you saw our last Trader Joe's haul, That's where we picked it up at, along with the peppers. All right, we're going to put this on a high heat, bring it to a boil. Now, while we're doing that, get a spoon, like I always say, right? Go into the sauce there, give that a try. Be careful with that rice. I didn't think of that. I'm crunching on a piece of rice. Okay. Don't be me. All right. That tastes really good. So let's bring that to a boil. Now, what's great about the no sodium beef broth is that you can adjust the seasonings as you wish. But just remember, at the end, we got something going in that's going to have a little saltiness to it, so you won't miss it. All right, we have a boil. Ooh, look at that. We're going to place the lid on. We're going to let this simmer for 15 to 20 minutes. You want to make sure that rice is totally cooked through and nice and tender, and that liquid has been absorbed. We'll be back. I'm going to finish this off because we still got one more thing to add. All right, I'm going to go ahead and shred up my cheese because that's the best way to eat cheese, right? Shred your own. All right, I'm using a Tillamook extra sharp white cheddar, and we just want half a cup for this recipe. I'm just going to use my shredder. You can use a box shredder if you want. Look at that. Yum. There we go. All right. We're going to measure it out and then put it on top of our dish once it's done. Okay, I took the lid off. We gave it a test. This took about 20 minutes. All right, what we're going to do now, leave your burner on, and we're going to take that half a cup of shredded cheese, sprinkle it on top. Place the lid on. Let the cheese melt. Should take 1 minute. All right, I'm going to sprinkle some parsley on top just to get a pop of color. Here we go. Woo, I can't wait to dive in and show you all the final product. Some of that cheese right there. It was going to happen. I'm going to grab a fork. We're going to give that a try for you. Lots of peppers. Yum. That rice is so tender. Everything picked up all those flavors. That is a deconstructed stuffed bell pepper. We did it all in one skillet. Y'all, it is delicious. We didn't lose any flavors or ingredients on that. All right, you guys, let us know all the time if you want more low carb. We're here for it. Give us a thumbs up. Comment down below if you're new to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Share this recipe with people you know would love a low carb dinner without losing any flavor. All right, you guys, I'll see y'all on the next episode. I'm ready to go sit down. Bye.